Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm really excited to bring today's review to you. And the reason being is finally we have another Bumblebee figure in the Studio Series line, not counting Studio Series 86 that I actually enjoy. And that's the one we're looking at today from Transformers 1. This is Deluxe Class B-127, otherwise known as Bumblebee. And let me tell you, yes, the figure in the package is very small. And yes, I would love for Hasbro to start coming out at a price point with smaller deluxes that represent the mini bots. But I do have to admit, there's a lot going on with the figure, and there's quite a bit of accessories. First of all, we have right here on the side the rifle that was used in the film. Full disclosure, haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I know I should be ashamed. And it's really nice that they included that because they also included Bumblebee's main weapons, um, the blaster little sword dagger combination. Now, the sword does come detached in the packaging, but there's no way to just use the sword without the blaster. So I'm sure they kind of did that for safety, so it doesn't break in transit. Nice little detailing there. Not clear plastic, so that's good. And then, of course, the blaster will just peg it over the hand. And by the way, you do notice that all the weapons and accessories can store in the vehicle mode. Now, removing those off. Oh, and two. You got two of them. I'm sure you guys saw that, but still. I mean, when have we ever gotten a dual blaster Bumblebee like that? Tri blaster if you include this. So I think that's really nice that they did that. Now, I was a fan of the various Bumblebee toys from Transformers 1. Their version of the Deluxe, which I think was called Core, all of the more simplified versions, the light-up versions. Very nice. And I believe that maybe this version is the most accurate to the film. You do have a little bit of the sloping going on here, which I think is really cool that they were able to recreate that. And you do have the front here that sort of looks like his armored face. Um, Love the wheels. Get a Tron vibe from this vehicle. And I'll be honest with you, I'll buy this again in red as Cliff Jumper. This is way better than the Cybertronian vehicle that we got for Bumblebee the movie. Pegs together a lot easier, comes together super well. The only minor issue I have, and I'm only mentioning it to be fair, has to do with when you bring the arms together. That it's a little fiddly to push them up and in, and then hold everything in place. And you end up having to do a little bit of the old transformer squeeze at the end just to get these tabs to close and what have you. Now you might notice a little bit of gapping here. This is actually part of the deco because there's an inner rim piece here on the shoulder that's supposed to stick out. I wasn't sure at first, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the transformation. And we're going to start with what I've just mentioned, which I thought was the hardest thing, and that's the arms. So you're going to unpeg them from the side, and they tab in right there underneath what I guess would be the roof. And then the wrist pegs into what would be the foot, the ankle area. And then also the bicep tabs into what would be, I would call the armpit joint. So you're going to bring them out and down. And when you're bringing them up, you want to make sure you do fold them in, and you're going to have to play around with it to get that joint to tab in first, and then close it up here on the side. That is the hardest part of the transformation, let me just tell you. So get those down. You can bring them back up a little now, just to get them out of the way, because we're going to start working here on the back section. Cool thing that the back, which is the legs, does. You're going to fold this whole section down, and it's going to snap into place right there at the waist. Then you can straighten out the legs. You do have waist rotation right there, so that's kind of cool. And now that we've done that, let's go ahead and um, flip up these panels here, which I thought were actually the feet, but these are really just internal. I guess they're supposed to be like faux feet to make that rear section. They're going to tab in there. At this point, you can go ahead and separate the legs. Bring the real feet up and forward like so. And here's something that I actually didn't even notice getting it out of packaging. It'll stand fine like this. You got heels. And what's even better is these heels, they snap into place. So you get that much more security in the robot mode. And by the way, you got some nice ankle pivot. I just had to jump on that. So bring the arms down like so. Let's bring the armpit joints into the arm joints up and into position a little. Just, keep them a little fanned out. And now we're going to come to the top here. And what you're going to do is pull up on this section. This will tabs in. I don't know if you guys can see, there's like two dark tabs right there and some slots. It snaps into place. So if you're not hearing a snap, it's not secure. And that's for vehicle mode and robot mode. Come into the front here, flip out that section, bring down the chest plate here, which was the front of the car, and that will tab in and soft snap into place. So that gives you that nice finished torso look right there. Close up, fold in this section, and again, fold this back up and keep going until it snaps into place. Rotate Bumblebee's head around, and can I say how nice it is to have a movie bee, not from the Studio Series 86 line, but a regular, movie line that has a face. Rotate the arms forward at the bicep so the elbow faces up. Open the panel here. The wrists are going to rotate out to the side. Close that panel down. This, by the way, is like 4 steps in the instructions. And I got to actually call out the instructions. They actually use the CGI art from the packaging, which I think is kind of cool. But here's Bumblebee in its robot mode. Really cool. Now, right, real quick, we're going to go ahead and tab here on the back the blasters on. There's storage right there. Rifle, right where that screw is, there's a there's a little bit of a peg hole. Boom, goes in. So even in robot mode, you can store the weapons. I wouldn't say it really affects the how the figure looks overall. But let me just check something real quick, because actually, you know what? I made a little bit of a faux pas. The blades are supposed to face down, so there actually would be on opposite arms this way, but even better, a more clean backpack. Although I kind of liked it with the blades facing up. But in terms of how I would display the figure, and can I just say how I like the wheels becoming the shoulder pads? I would actually use the rifle and then go for one of these little arm blade configurations. Just slide that in, just like that. We're just going to do it up real nice like that. And boom, there's your Bumblebee. I mean, does this not? This looks good. I mean, I think as we move away from the Bay films in terms of aesthetic and storytelling, we're getting movie figures that are more in line with generations in terms of being able to transform easily, but in a fun way, and just having this nice look to them. Like this to me looks like a Cybertronian Bumblebee from the Bumblebee I grew up with. Now, of course, thanks to Origins, we do have a Cybertronian Bumblebee from, More Than Meets the Eye. But it just looks good. I mean, I'm even going to say this now. I'm excited to see if we get a movie masterpiece and how they'll do it, because I think that won't be that difficult. It'll be a little bit bigger, maybe a little more detailed. Maybe we'll be able to have weapon storage with a clean vehicle mode. But yeah, this is great. I mean, if they could do something where you can have the arm weapons transform out of the arms, I'm down. But, yeah, and I mean, again, palm of my hand. There, yes, it's small. Yes, we're paying close to 25 bucks. Um, but it is what it is. So let me get to my final thoughts, and I'm sure you guys are going to be able to guess what that's going to be. One thing I want to mention is that this version of Bumblebee is going to be part of that Italian friendly wave series that we've been hearing about since last year. The Hey series. Yeah, it's like 2 reviews in a row, 3 reviews that I've made some sort of jokes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, for those of you who stick around after I make my bad jokes, God bless you. But this and the Transformers Devastation Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, which I should be getting Sunday from Walmart. Hopefully, I can get it sooner. Um, are going to be the A series figures for 2025. That means that no matter what's going on, what wave it is, what's on the shelves, these will always be available for stores to order and have. That way, there's always an Optimus Prime and Bumblebee available. So, kind of what that means is you may not want to rush out and go pick this up right away. If it's anything like the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, which was last year's A Series Bumblebee, you actually might be able to get it down for about 16 bucks or less. I heard some places were clearancing it out for 9 and change. At $25, this is worth a purchase. But for anything less, it's a steal. And like I said, I definitely would be willing to pick this up again as Cliff Jumper, new head, maybe change up the weapons a little. If you want to do, what's that blue one called? Onyx or something? Or the news reporter? Yeah, that could work. Or were there any background characters that look like? I really need to watch Transformers 1. But my point being is, I really enjoy this figure. Minor quibbles aside, which you know what? The way everything, the fact that the backpack snaps in place, the chest snaps into place, um, the great articulation in the legs, how it comes together. I just gotta overlook everything. In fact, let me just say, at this point of recording, which I think is March 18th, night or maybe the 19th, 2025, we might have an early contender for Toy of the Year right here. That's how much I like this figure. I enjoy this more than Voyager Red Alert, which we reviewed, Voyager Primavera Prime, which we looked at. This right here has them all beat. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Well, I will always appreciate the views. The likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't do the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. And I really do mean that. I know with the way things are going on in the world, Patreon, really don't worry about it. Your views, they really do help, especially now in the days of like stolen reviewers and early reviews and stuff like that. Um, Coming to me well after other sites have like newsed other reviews and feel that the cycle is done on a figure months before it's ever released as retail really does help me out a great deal. But that's about it. Once again, this is a great figure. This is your old pal Chuck for B-127, aka Bumblebee. We will see you next time.